If you haven't seen my intro video yet, my name is Dana Sanama. I am a trans filmmaker, and yeah, I'm wearing the same sweater. It's winter. It's cold. This is a nice sweater. Get over it. I'm also wearing socks with a hedgehog drinking hot chocolate on it. You want to comment on those too? It's cold. Look at my son.
Ingolf, are you super cold? Are you tucked in?
Now that's a boy who's been living in California too long.
Yeah.
This year I'm making a feature film, If It Kills Me. And it might. It might. But I am tired of waiting for other people to say yes to my ideas, so I'm taking matters into my own hand. My own hands. Hands. I have multiple. I have two. You've seen the title. You know that this is... Step 1, get the channel up and running. Look at that. We're making progress already. This is an incredibly important step because the film industry does not work the same way it did when I was a kid dreaming of being the next Spielberg, or even when I was in film school. Nowadays, filmmakers need a direct audience to themselves and not just to their work. Now, I resisted this idea for years because this is a lot of effort on top of the monumental task that filmmaking is. Shit. Step number 2, do the thing. I'm going to break down the next year month to month. Now, this is the plan. It's important to realize that a plan is not reality. Things will shift, things will ebb, things will flow, things will have to be pushed around. A plan is relative. A plan is a living, breathing thing. But if you go into, as my producing teacher back in film school used to say, the logistical nightmare that is filmmaking without a plan, well, you're guaranteed to fail, or it's going to take way, 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 way longer than you ever anticipated. So let's talk about the plan. January has already had to shift from the original plan because we were supposed to hear back from a grant in December. And of course, that didn't happen. We now know we won't hear anything about that grant until the end of February. They got far more applicants than they were expecting, which is really great for indie film, but means that my individual odds for that grant are slim, regardless of how good of an application I think I have. Whoever gets that grant is going to do amazing things, and I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic that that person is me, but we need to move forward with the plan as if we're not getting it. All of this means that I'm not going to have any outside money helping me until March at the earliest. So my plan for this month is to shift my energy into the channel. And behind the scenes, I'm working on script revisions while finishing up all of the VFX for my partner's second feature film. That's right, I am the entire VFX team on a feature film right now. I will also be prepping for the build stages. Early builds, we have a few key props that need to be constructed. Number 1 is the camera. Now, my film is set in the 60s during the time in psychology when behavioralism was kind of at the tail end and was butting heads with the newer cognitive research that would eventually become cognitive behavioral therapy. But that's all you get. I'm saving the pitch for the pitch video. This is the plan video. One of the characters is a research assistant, and she needs to have a 60s era 16mm motion picture film camera. That camera needs to simultaneously shoot the scene while it's in the scene, and I can't afford actual 16mm film. That would just be way too expensive. So we need to take a modern camera and rehouse it into a prop body. This will involve a lot of 3D printing, and unfortunately my little tiny workhorse of a 3D printer, well, it died a couple months ago, and I'm real sad about it. I'm real sad about it. It's a good little workhorse. Yeah, so if you know anybody at Bamboo Labs or, I don't know, PCB Way who could set me up with a sponsorship, let me know. Build number 2. We have a creature, but that's all you get until the pitch video. But that's also going to require a lot of 3D printing. Build number 3. Did you know that the first publicly available CCTV security systems are from 1949? Did you also know the first commercially viable tape recording systems came out just 2 years later in 51? I didn't know any of this until I was researching for the script. So we're gonna build like an old school console that has 4 CRTs embedded in it, each one showing a different security camera on it. Now we can't use real CRTs for that, and I'll explain why in the build video. Now that build is also going to require a lot of 3D printing. Are you seeing a theme? February and March will also scale up pre-production for things like casting and starting to look at locations. In April, we need to get some plate photography of the creature. Now, this is going to be used both in principal photography and as promos for the crowdfunding campaign, which will also launch in April. May is all about fundraising and pre-production. Every year I have a big job in May that takes the entire month away from me, so there's very little I can do besides more office-based pre-production work. June is final pre-production and prep, making sure everything is in place for... We shoot in July, according to this plan, which will change. So we're aiming for July. August through December is all post-production. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of exciting things happening in terms of progress that I can show, so I expect YouTube videos will kind of slow down at that point, maybe moving to like once a month. Now, the current timeline has me finishing the movie before New Year's Day in 2027. The reason for that is not hubris. I'm well aware that movies take a long time to make. The reason for this plan is because of the grant. In the grant's rules, one of the requirements is that the film must be completed within a year of the funding date. Since the original funding date was going to be in December, I made my initial plan for December. Now, if I get the grant in March, that means I'll have a couple extra months to play with, but I still like the idea, the challenge of finishing in December, so that's what I'm going to aim for. Now, will I rise to the occasion? Or will I, like Icarus, thrust myself into self-destruction? There's only one way to find out.